What's poppin' YouTube? Y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Y'all ready to title Let's Get Busy. Alright, so this is just my, 2 cents from afar. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of them people that want to spread, just propaganda, and a sensationalist where I'm just taking a story and trying to expand it. But these are just my indicators or things that I would just say as sort of the writing on the wall, the things that you would have to sit up there and really consider or be aware of if you aren't aware of it already, right? So I gotta go ahead and get deep down into what I'm getting at, why I'm getting at it, where we're at, and the things we could possibly do before it gets to a certain point, right? So the government almost shut down 3 weeks ago, right? And the process, if people aren't up to the game or up to date with what happened with the government almost shutting down, was that there had to be a bill passed to raise the debt ceiling, so that way there was more government funding and more government spending and things that rely off the government, as far as like how money is being delegated and things like that, right? So the whole games behind the debt ceiling is people could play political games and have certain narratives and backdoor handshakes and things of that nature to push things that are underlying for the greater good of everybody that lives in the country, right? But I'm just going to get down to the things on the surface. So the reason why the government didn't shut down was because there was a second bill that was put into place, that was put together by the House of Representatives, that got sent up to the Senate, which is controlled by the Democrats, in comparison to the House of Representatives that's controlled by the Republicans. Now, the first one didn't go through because I feel like it had a lot of government, spending cuts and things of that nature, and for it to get approved and passed, for it to be sent up for the president to sign it, the House of Representatives have to send it up to the Senate for them to approve it. So, first bill failed, but the second bill, which was the more controversial bill, and I'm going to tell you it was the after effect of the second bill going across, was at the time the Speaker of the House, the leader of the House, by the Republicans, Kevin McCarthy, had set up there and made a more Democrat-friendly bill, just to kind of like make it a little bit more bipartisan, where it's like, we're not going to give you what you want, but we're not going to take away what you already have, right? So a lot of Democrats supported it, and I feel like it was just a short-term band-aid because it's only about 45 days in between the next bill that has to be passed for the debt ceiling and then raised again one more time. Now, this is why I feel like, not a guarantee why the government is going to shut down, but why I feel like the chances are higher than the previous times before, is only due to the fact, because the bill got passed and a lot of Republicans didn't support it, they pretty much voted Kevin McCarthy out. And right now there's a vacant spot for the House Speaker. Now there's a couple of candidates that I haven't really looked into that, but pretty much why I feel like it's going to be more of a gamble is because obviously the person that they would elect or nominate would be more of a Republican, conservative, orientated person in comparison to Kevin McCarthy, which he was Republican, but he might, on certain things, might be a little bit lukewarm, where it's like, okay, it's a big deal, but now's not the time to go about it. There's a big deal and there's also bigger deals, right? So this is how I'm about to have this coming full circle. So there's a 45-day time span in between that point and the point where they're gonna have to pass another bill. Now, and just a disclaimer, the government is shut down in years past, and I think the longest time was probably for like a month and some change. The most recent time I think was like the end of 2018, and not to sit up there and say people weren't affected, but it wasn't a nationwide catastrophe. It was able to recover, and people just it was just a thing in the past. Nobody brings it up, right? But I just sit up there and say all that to say is that the reason why it's going to be a little bit more tougher is because whoever they put in place in Kevin McCarthy obviously is probably going to be more of a person that's going to give a lot more pushback and stuff like that. So that being said, thanks for watching. More videos on the way.